Welcome to the jack off.
Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3.
Well, hello and welcome to tonight's exciting evening. We are talking about the Jack Off, the My Whiskey Den Jack Off Challenge of 2020. And remember, this wouldn't be brought to you except for the wonderful fans we have out there that are getting us to the places we are now, because recently we bumped that 200 subscriber mark. So, maybe we'll have to come up with another giveaway, but there's a lot of things in motion for this, your favorite public access whiskey review show. We welcome you all here because tonight's lineup is insane. But before we get there, Mike, what do you have to say to our lovely viewers?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit that bell notification to find out when shows are coming out. And don't forget, Monday nights are usually a live night and most of the time a part of the Evening With series, or they are just fun times like tonight.
Ooh, we like fun times. We're going to do fun times tonight. Hey, that one did better than the pinhook one. That's right where those things are supposed to be. So welcome everyone to the show. We see Eli's out there, Mark's JG is out there, John Gonstall, Whiskey Straight Al from across the pond, good to see you out there, Spencer Mav, and I think Icehouse, Brandon Elliott. Holy crap, there's an assload of you out there. Thanks for showing up on time, because we all know you did not want to miss the Monday night jack off. And what does this all entail? Ben, what whiskeys do we have here before us to compete?
All right, so let's start with the oddball out, so to speak. We got the single barrel rye.
Okay.
Let me find that.
And we've got their single barrel select, both standard releases. Take a jump up from that single barrel select, and there's the single barrel proof, or the double barrel as some people like to affectionately call it. And then we're going to round it off with a special edition, kind of a limited release they do every year, their heritage barrel. And the one we've got is the 2018 release.
Nice. So I guess another reason, let's get into first off why we're doing this. Icehouse, nice, hitting J. Henry, Wollersheim, and Driftless Glen. That's a nice weekend. For those of you going to Wisconsin, that little section of the state, that is a nice cleanup area to go hit. That was something I'd be doing. So good job. But what we're doing is we're looking at these fine Jack whiskey products, because everyone's used to seeing old number 7, the review, and actually it is not that bad. I'm going to be honest. That's where it kind of started for me. You go to a lot of shows, and it is a universal whiskey like Jameson. It's always there. Yeah. But the brand, by craft lovers, we'll say, gets a little bit of shit and crapped on some of the time. And these releases, kind of like the Sinatra release and other ones, are kind of steps showing what the promise is coming out of Jack Daniel's, where there is unique creativity and where there is that whiskey that is a step up, that is worth the $50 or $60, which I believe most of these are, except for the Heritage. The Heritage I know can get kind of crazy. Yeah. Am I right in that, Ben?
Yeah, 2018, it wasn't so bad. It was in the $80 range. The last time I saw the 2019 release was pushing about $180 to $200, so...
Yeah, and I know I looked up at, I think the 2017 was like about $450 or something. So the Heritage one can be an issue. Now, there are different ones. There's like a rested rye, I think is what Wheels has, we were talking about earlier today. So there are some other ones that you could fit in the mix. If you don't have the setup for this year, remember, we'll be doing it next year, and you can have your own set of 4 that we can go along with and talk about. You're cool with Gentleman Jack. Ugh.
Practice until next year.
But basically they were.
I do. So, but before we go, one thing I would like to ask if you guys would join me in solidarity for our brother Ed, who's fighting the Rona. In honor of Ed and Rock Gut Review, and really just Ed in general, would you join me in a little jack to the face in honor of Ed?
I guess, but I don't have the normal jack. So the one that I would probably like to take least to the face would be the rye. So I will start there.
Okay, are you ready?
You want me to swallow this, or am I just like throwing it at my face?
I'm just gonna throw it.
Like salt,
Patty.
like salt over your shoulder. I mean, I don't know what we're doing here.
A shot to the face.
All right.
What would Ed do?
He would add some type of fish extract.
Yes, well, this is true. Anyway,
and ranch cheese.
All right, for Ed.
For Ed, cheers, buddy. Ooh, and by the way, that is the way I do think you should start every session of drinking. Is you should have like a half a shot of Jack or something else, and just boom to get your senses moving and your palate tasting. And I know you usually want to start off on something really nice, but I say just kind of get everything moving before you get to the flavor country. So I don't mind that.
Thank you, Guy Fieri.
I don't mind. I forgot that was from him. So. Our friend in Canada. Actually, he is out of the hospital, but they got him a little bit better inhaler. But he's just kind of waiting out, and it looks like he's just kind of taking day by day and getting a little bit better. So it looks like things are headed in the right direction. But it should be a decent road. But he's not locked in the hospital. He doesn't have a ventilator, so those are two good things right there. So we hope you get better feeling quick, Ed.
Absolutely.
And now to being jackasses. At the jack off, let's start off. Let's just be honest. Let's go the single barrel select. So the 46%. This is the very first step up in quality is the way I look at it. Because you have Gentleman Jack and other stuff. I don't really find that to be any more exciting for me than old number 7, and I know I just pissed off the Twitterverse. That's fine. That's fine. But I think this is the one that when you have it, you really start to see it like more craft or more nuance to it than some of the other ones. So that's where I'm gonna pick. We start there.
Okay.
And does anyone win the jack off?
First one to finish.
First one to finish? Okay.
Wheels on the bus go round and round, round.
Round and round. All right. Now. Oh, what is everyone else having? Does anyone else out there have some fancy Jack at home? What are you guys having out there in the little whiskey land this evening?
I'm curious if anybody out there too, if you've gotten to tour Jack Daniels at all.
Oh.
Because that's actually what sparked me in the whole whiskey journey was getting to see the distillery.
That is kind of intriguing. Hey, I should never just pay attention to your names. I should just leave those alone. All right.
So this one was bottled on 9/5/19, and they single barrel selects coming at 47%.
Okay. All right.
Banana bread.
So yeah, a little bit. I was gonna say a little bit over the normal release, but not bad for what that is. And I do get banana bread as well too.
Banana bread, caramel, and oak.
Yeah.
Ooh. Someone's tasting the Early Times Blue Label and reading some of Ben's notes. Thanks, Jared. He's got some nice notes coming out all over the place recently. So I do the same thing. I lean on him for a crutch. That's why he's here.
And don't not to cause a panic at the store or anything, but now's a good time to get the Early Times before it 1 goes away and 2 probably changes. So
that's true. Emily brings up a good point. Doesn't the first one to finish lose the jack off? That does.
Depends on what your goals are.
sounds a little more accurate. All right, now on this, It's not very powerful on the nose.
No, it is not.
I was gonna say it. I was expecting a little bit more of a beating from it. It is. We just got done doing the pinhook rye down a minute ago, and this one is very light and kind of comparative to that. A little bit of spice, like a black pepper, kind of hidden in the front half of it. But vanilla, caramel, obviously.
Yeah.
Getting just like a hint of lemon pledge, like just very, very lightly in the middle of it.
And it's not. I mean, when people talk about Jack Daniels, I mean, there's a lot of people that just consider it to be trash and awful whiskey, and it's really not. But there is kind of a negative connotation. And I was actually thinking of. I felt like drinking Jack Daniels. I should be using tumblers, or and with a label to hide it. So because I'm at my kid's recital, like most of your Jack drinkers, but no, it's really not. It's not bad. Jack is good bourbon.
Now you've lit a fire, man.
And what do you mean by that? What type of fire? You mean this isn't bourbon, or is this just whiskey? What do you ever mean?
A charcoal filtered fire?
Yeah. And I'm getting like white pepper on this now, more than black pepper, which I was getting a little at first out of it. But vanilla extract for me, like 2 drops of it, like when you're baking using some baked goods.
Yeah, that to me is signature with Jack Daniels. It's a rich, heavy vanilla note for me. And I think you may see that especially as we move up in this, but that's always been a signature Jack note, is just the rich vanilla.
Whew. That time I was deep in there, I took a big whiff. That one kind of got to me, actually. I felt the fumes for the
Just
first time in a while. Yeah, it's not that's. I guess that's not a problem with our channel yet, but let's not stir up people. All right. Okay. You can tell it is much better than the normal Jack number 7. Mm-hmm. Much better. I'm not getting I'm getting a little more. There's more flavor in it on the palate than on the nose, for me.
Yeah.
It's not in any way, shape, or form scary. It's all medium level flavors. Mm-hmm. Nothing's coming at you, but it does have some nice depth to it. I'm going to say 5, maybe 6 flavors deep. And it's a nice balance.
It's mild.
Mm-hmm. And the fun part of it is you're dealing with a single barrel, so your experience may vary quite a bit depending on what you got.
And this one, it's almost watery at first, like on the first third on the taste. And you get just like a caramel and a little bit of another note, and then all of a sudden, like once you get past that, it starts to build, and on the finish with the air hitting it, it builds up too.
Yeah, it really comes in heavy on the mid, and for me, it's a huge toasted pecan note.
I can see that maybe here. Okay. Toasted pecan, and I'm gonna say there's a decent rye, maybe at 10-15% of it might be rye. I don't know, because it's you are getting some clove and pepper notes and stuff in the latter half of it and in the finish.
Yeah, it is interesting because in this one I feel like there is more of a rye that's standing out, but it's only 8% of the mash bill.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Barley is 12%, rye is 8%.
Oh, cow. I would not have guessed that from that one.
Yeah. And a splash of water? No.
No. Leave it where it's at.
It did it no justice.
So, and on this one, let's see. So for that, I guess a nice step up, but I wouldn't necessarily put that in the $50 price range.
Yeah.
I might put that more of like a 35, 40 and be very pleasantly happy with it. And I would go back all the time. So a bump, but not a super bump up from what we were talking.
How many jacks would you give it?
How many? On a scale of how many jacks?
On a scale of 1 to 5 jacks.
1 to 5 jacks. I'd give it 3 jacks.
Oh, wow.
I'd give it 3 jacks. There's some room for creativity that is left on the table there, but it is very pleasant, and it is. I could see how it's very appealing to the masses and the flavor profile for what you're getting out of it. So, I mean, maybe you might be losing a little bit of zing here or there.
Yeah.
But it is something you could easily go back to and you could drink neat. I wouldn't necessarily need any more punch or cover it up with Coke or anything like that, which you feel free to do. Or Dr. Pepper. I know some of you are very particular.
I agree. I think this is one I think you could give somebody who said, I hate Jack, I can't drink Jack, I don't like Jack. And you could give it to them and not tell them what it is.
Right.
And they would be very, very surprised, I think.
Yeah. I think that the average bourbon drinker you hand them a glass of this and they're going to, this is
Good bourbon.
Yeah. Good bourbon.
It's pleasant. You know, it's not blow your minds, but it's a nice, pleasant sit on your porch afternoon whiskey.
Yeah. I mean, it's not super expensive. You're not going to blow your whole wad on it, but
now I'll throw this out here though. We mentioned it earlier, the whole early times, that bottled and bond.
Yeah.
For the money and the flavor you get out of that, I would take that hands down over just the single barrel select.
Okay. And how much is early times Blue Label?
In my area, it's about $23.
Holy balls!
Same here.
And the single barrel select is about the 45 to 47 range.
Yeah,
smooth, like a baby's butt or a dolphin's behind. Wait, is that how it goes? All right, now
got the motion down, man.
Well, you got to shake them up. You know, they've been sitting in there a long time. You gotta break up the effervescence, all the things going on. You want a fresh one. You don't want something that's been stale. I'm thinking we go to the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof after this. We bump up the line. That's the fight I want to see. The rye is going to be unique and the heritage is going to be special, but these two are the ones I think that are meant to fight with each other.
Oh, I can tell you, I can tell you who wins without ever trying the other one. Without ever trying the single barrel select.
Ooh. Okay.
How much darker that barrel proof is.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ben. I was like, oh my God, like look at that. It's got almost like it's got a really nice caramel note to it. How does it compare to
which one, Emily?
Probably the first one. Not the barrel proof, but the first one.
Oh, if I had to pick between, if I had both on the shelf, I'd reach for old Granddad 114 all day long if that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's usually what I think people are talking about when they say old Granddad. Yeah. That one's just another one that's, like you say in early times, cost per quality is stellar with some of those. So, all right. Now the barrel proof one we have is 64.9%. Rick L 13 barrel, 1904-972. Bottled on 7/26 of 19. So just a little over a year ago this was bottled and pulled out for us. But almost 65%. So this is looking like it might get me. Oh man, this is a different beast altogether, man.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Just on the nose, it's like dusty old saloon where the other thing wasn't like daring at all. This is like, or I don't know. I need another second, but I'm getting like dusty old like Tombstone saloon.
Yes, still get the bananas. I get maple sugar, And the one note that I always get off of every different single barrel proof is the smell of last night's campfire wood. When you go back out there and there's just a little bit left and you catch that whiff of it.
That there's always that nice barrel char note in there. Yeah.
Oh. Mark, if you have pneumonia, man, we hope you get better too.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's no joke, man.
Yeah.
I had that a few times recently, so. Oh, Spencer, he just tries to one up us. He's he's always got that one extra little bit of something. And 66.4. Now there's some beef with that, man.
Because I have a different one than you guys because I drank the sample, but I had to get another bottle. My bottle is 65.05.
Okay.
The bottle that I had before this one was 67 and change.
Nice. Okay, so they're not holding back. They're letting it build up and release it
they are
that
not
way.
messing around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm getting the banana bread, a little bit of lemon, but I'm getting like a dried up hay note.
Mm.
Yeah, there's some
and
rich
like a
spices.
wood.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, spoiler alert, I really like this one, and I know that I like it. And this is a great one to find it somewhere, buy it. I don't think you'll be disappointed with it.
Yeah, and you can tell it's one of those things off the nose that even if it wouldn't be up your alley, it's going to taste really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some dark fruit, toffee, a little bit of chocolate in there.
I was going to say caramel and dark chocolate. Oh. I just know I'm loving this flat
I know.
Flat drying dirt, like dusty wood note.
Eli, I think Jack, for the most part, is no age statement on these.
Right.
I don't know that they do that on any of theirs. I'm sure there's a speculation as far as what they are, because it gives you the barrel date, but it doesn't tell you when it was distilled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could just curl up in this nose and stay there because it's just that good. It's rich, it's luscious, it's gonna get your rocks off, man.
Oh. 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 She just shook me a little. She took me by the neck and shook me a little bit there.
Yeah.
Woo.
Maple sugar, caramel, chocolate, tobacco.
You're just
and dry. It's so drying in the beginning. Like it's the initial drink was dry, and then you get a little bit of hydration, and then just drying again. It's like you need to have another drink of this now.
That mouthfeel, man.
Oh yeah.
This thing
is creamy. It's rich. It's oily.
It's really good.
Oh.
It loses a little bit of that dusty flat note. It's nowhere near as heavy as it is on the nose. It is in the thing. Taste. This is like just off the note. I was like, as soon as I was going to talk, I started rattling shit off. I'm like, just keep going. So you keep naming shit off. Like you can keep going on this one. There is a lot going on with this one. There's been stuff at other distilleries like it was Jameson when I think I had the Master Select series or the Distiller Select series when you start getting the Cooper's Crows and the Master Safe or whatever it is. That's when I was like, holy crap. I'm like, you guys can make some really nice, really good whiskey. This is kind of what I would say compared to what you're getting versus the normal Jack. You're like, holy crap, you guys can make this. Yeah. I understand it's probably more expensive and everything to make it, but hell, make this all the time. This should become a new core release part. Don't take this away. Don't take this one away from everybody.
And the thing is, it is attainable. It's very attainable.
Yep. You
can find it just about anywhere. It's always been like around $65 around me. Sometimes less. Actually, the last time I got this one, it was supposedly on sale. But you can see it all the time going in there, and it's.
Yeah. I'm getting this creamy, like peanut butter and chocolate note coming in there. That's
and it's like the peanut butter. It's on your mouth, and you feel like a dog trying to lick it off.
Mm-hmm.
you can't get it off of there. Oh, it's so good.
I don't know if you guys remember back years ago. They used to have this kind of candy bar called PB Max.
Mm-hmm.
That was like had peanut butter inside, and you had these cookie crumbles, and it was all coated in chocolate. That's what that reminds me of.
I agree, because there is, like you were saying, you get that creamy peanut butter. I was getting like caramel, peanut butter, and chocolate, and it's all this nice creamy notion to the first half of it, and then it starts to kind of dry out later on the palate. But man, that is up front, and it's nice. It's luscious. It's luscious, people.
Yeah, this is why. Who was it? Scotch Test Dummies, I think, did a
blind
shootout, 16 different cask strength, barrel strength whiskeys, bourbons, and this won out.
Yeah.
Well,
for good reason.
Caramel cream, black pepper, clove, a little rye spice, a nice barrel note on the end.
Yeah.
It's a nice ride.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just.
It's like you said, you can sit here and just keep naming off notes for days.
Yes.
You just keep going. It's in there.
And you could find it, and the price doesn't jump up and down. There's not a secondary for it, so you don't have to worry about people jacking the prices up. Yeah. It's consistent. It's been only little bits of changes here and there of the different ones that I've had. Alternative to some of the other barrel proof, the quarterly releases that come out and stuff, where some are hit or miss.
Right.
It's really consistent. I'd say get it, try it once, and then pick up a bottle, maybe pick up another one.
Jared brings up a good point. We're making this sound a little bit more like a version of a cordial.
Ooh, can you imagine this as a cordial? Cordially whip your ass.
Best dessert ever.
I'm gonna say this, it's got a little more heat and character than that, but it just has a nice depth of flavor.
Yeah, and it's not that proof doesn't mess around. I mean,
it's in there.
It's not hiding it at all. Every bit of this proof that you're getting, and it's not holding back.
Yeah,
it's not a Stag Junior, kick in the teeth. No. It is. It's got a good punch to it, but there's more to it than heat.
And on the fourth drink, the heat kind of starts to die down. Starts to damp itself out a little bit.
You acclimate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It assimilates you.
Almost a little bit of a red wine note in there too, like a rich Cabernet or Bordeaux.
I get that. I was gonna say you get a. I was gonna say a lighter wine, but I got the red when you said that, where it's got that richer, more in the tannin structure on the back end.
Yeah.
So how many jacks you give this one?
If we're scaling the jacks that I've had, only by jacks that I had, that would probably rank versus other jacks, probably 5 jacks. But in reality of the world, I'm going to say it's a 4.5 jack. Only with the hope that there would be something else out there hidden that might be something even crazier, or maybe like a finished version of it, or something that this is the finish would be something else. That's right, John. We lost Mike. Oh, and he's gone.
Oh, he blew his load.
He did, and he lost the jack off.
Yeah, first one out.
First one out. So Mike has lost. He now owes us and everyone in the chat something. What do you guys think? What do you guys think Mike should have to donate to the chat? I mean, it was a very abrupt ending. That's all I'm going to say. It was pretty quick there. I would definitely get this when we're talking craft and getting the extra flavors out of it.
Yeah.
I think this starts getting into that category.
Yeah, I will. I'll just go ahead and say I will never not have a bottle of this in my cabinet.
Yeah, for the price that it is and what you're getting out of it.
Yeah.
The thing is with this, you're not gambling.
Right.
When you a lot of times with craft, even though we've had several really nice payoffs, there's if you spend $60 and it's me, it's frustrating. I mean, that's just. Right. and I know this is going to upset some people in the chat, but I think I did that with Powers John Lane. And I'm not saying it's not a great whiskey, but when I think it was like $80-$90, and I like the first sip I had of it, I was like, shit, man, I could have gotten these other 3 bottles. Like I sat there and then and I grew to it, and I do like it, and I respect the John Lane, but for me, I could see it come down in price a little bit.
I can understand that. If you can find it in about the $60 range, I think it's a pretty good value. But past that,
I'd compare it directly to Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. For me, and you look at, it can be hit or miss. Some people like the C's or the A's more than others.
Right.
But it's all good. It's consistent. It's about the same price.
Yep.
Anyway, it's I'm a fan. It's 5 Jacks. White knuckle.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest. When you take a drink off that, it is hands on the steering wheel for a second. You do get a little. Whew. Yes. You breathe in, you get that little bit of a rush of heat from the alcohol. Like the 65% shows up, but it's not bad. 65 again. There's some 60. There's some 50s that get in there, and it's like turpentine and other shit that it's just like horrific. This is just it's heat because you're like, well, there's the alcohol. It's in there someplace. Like there it is. We just found it.
Yeah, this gives you a nice little Tennessee hug, but it's for what it is. It still drinks remarkably well.
All right. So let's keep moving down the line here. Now, do we want? This is the real question: do we want to do the rye at the end because it's different, and do the heritage barrel? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say it might screw up the comparison to the heritage barrel that we're going to do here. Now, the heritage barrel, like we're saying, more expensive. Especially in more recent times, it's had a little bit higher punch in price where you're looking to $100, $200, $300, $450, depending upon the year and how old it is. So if you can't get this one for the money, don't worry about it. There's some other stuff you can get. What is it? What do you
Mike's name change down there?
Oh yeah.
I'm 12.
Yeah.
I was like, what? He just got back. He couldn't have done anything wrong yet.
Our humor is all about in that age range, I think.
Yeah.
So I just dumped out the Heritage Barrel, 2018 release, 50%. It's kind of like a bottled and bond level.
Yep.
And this one, and once again, it's on. Hold on here. This one is the Heritage, so it is just a tad darker again.
Yep.
The other one was a pretty big difference. This one's just more of a hair darker, a little more of a straight amber on this one. Nice yellow.
Yeah.
And some
so
really nice
what really
legs.
sets these apart?
Ooh. Go ahead. Sorry, Ben. I'm watching.
Yeah.
I'm watching the legs develop on this. It's taking a while.
Eyes on the legs, man.
Don't
what sets
lose
the
concentration.
Yeah. What sets the Heritage barrels apart is it's the specific use of barrels. There's using barrels that they've charred a little bit differently. They go through a different process, lower temperature, so it's a deeper char to it, and then they're putting it in the barrel at 100 proof. They're barreling it at a much lower proof than what they normally do. And then, of course, they're put into I think the highest floor of one of their highest rick houses is where they're aged at. So,
This one smells a little more acetone to me. Not a lot, but it has a little bit more of that in the nose. It's not as heavy on the dusty wood note, but I am getting caramel, brown sugar, like a prune or a plum. Like a molasses cookie with raisins.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get a little cherry.
Okay, the more this is maybe it was just the first bit of the nose. The first bit of the nose was a little bitey to me. It's starting to peel off now. Cherry with black chocolate cake. Okay, this one is starting to work its way back around. This is the one that like in a fight, like it got slapped up against the ropes, Rocky style, like in the first round.
Right.
And coming back around 5 or 6, all of a sudden it's starting to not look so bad. Maybe it does have a puncher's chance, a little long range to win it all here. You know, it might be able to go the distance.
I get a little sassafras and cola syrup coming in on this one too.
Mm-hmm. And Spencer brought up heritage must be. I would assume it is. For the price, when you're going to start jacking up the price that much, I would assume it probably is an older. Probably, I'd guess you're probably looking more into like the 15, 20-year age range. And on the nose, I might lean that way, but I'll see on the taste here.
Ooh. Wow. Peppery on the taste. Pepper and cinnamon. Baking spices. Creamy,
Yep.
too.
But not right away. Like right away, I felt it'd be like creamy butterscotchy for a second. Or caramel. And then you're right. Then it's damn. Okay, this one's going back again.
Yeah.
I get a lot of wood off of this one. For me, I mean, I get all those things, but I get like toasted oak, and there's hints of cedar. It's almost like going into a woodworking shop with all these different aged boards sitting around. It's
like more like fresh cut wood than overly oaked.
I don't know here.
and there's that kind of a caramel nougat peanut butter, almost like a Snickers kind of vibe going.
Yeah, but it's one of those ones where they kind of skimped on the peanuts.
Yeah.
It sounds dumb, like you get the flavor, but it's not like when you go to bite down, you're like, what the hell? Wow, this is just a weird one. This is one where I think I would drink the bottle because I was going back to it to see what was going on.
Yeah.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? And I hate to say this.
Off-brand Snickers.
A craft whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't hurt you to say it. You can say it.
Well,
Mike.
I mean,
Say it.
they're very anti-craft.
But being as what it is, this might be leaning towards more of the craftiest that they are.
Yes. Yeah.
I find this uniquely drying on the back half and the finish all together. I'm like, the edges of my tongue are salivating. The top of my tongue feels like a desert where you could just pour water or anything on it right now. It's just been like stripped.
Yeah. There's a bit of that char note in there that was in the barrel proof and the others, but for me, I walk away from this one feeling like I licked an oak board, but in a good way. It's just got these wonderful wood notes.
Smelling the empty glass, it's like a kind of a malty note.
Brown rumbly note. Maybe I said that. If I was rambling and I missed that, that's and I said that, I forget. I'm going to put it on YouTube if you remember saying that, because I don't, but I may have, so remind me.
Spencer said that when you said pepper note, it made him sneeze. And I said, it's a good thing we didn't say we had a brown note. I like smelling this. I've not had Heritage Barrel before.
And I'm getting almost like a cinnamon ginger cookie in there too. This one, as it's revealing itself more and more as you drink it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going back to the barrel proof one because I want to get drunk before the show. So
Yeah. It's coming on the finish for me, almost like a ginger snap cookie kind of thing going on. And I think honestly, this one may be a little disservice coming off of the barrel proof one, because when I've had this one on its own, there's just a lot of nuance to it that's in there.
well, I think that's what you get more out of this one is nuance, and it's not as powerful as the barrel proof, because I just went back to the barrel proof, and its flavor, and it's to the point where it's getting, for Jack, it's getting to be an aggressive flavor.
Yeah.
And on this other one, I think you can tell that it's got more going on, but you have to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta slow down and dance with it.
I mean, neither of these last two are background whiskeys by any mean. They want you to sit down and figure it out and enjoy it.
What type of toasted nut did you say was it? I think there's like a toasted nut in the Heritage Barrel.
I got toasted pecan in
Okay.
the, I think it was the single barrel select, was a big toasted pecan note. I'm starting to get more cedar on the nose on this.
Yeah, and on the finish, when I'm talking about that drying note, it's like a dried cedar. It's like I licked a cedar board. So, who out in the chat is close to finishing the Jack off early? Because we have one whiskey left, and then we're gonna have to talk about them, and then we're gonna have to maybe make a blend of all of the Jacks.
So how many jacks do you give this one?
This one I'm gonna give. This one's a problem because it's like a sleeper whiskey for me.
Yeah.
Like it hides out, and it's like I'm quietly interesting, but you might also forget about me. You know, like this is a really good one, but you might forget about me some days where it just doesn't. It's not as. I'm gonna go 4 Jacks on this one, where I think the cast strength was 4.5 for me. So I'm going 4 Jacks.
Is it worth the money?
Comparatively,
exclusivity.
If you're a collector and how about this? If you're a collector and you're getting them the year they come out, probably not the end of the world. You know, because if you're paying $80, I wouldn't freak out. We've all paid way more than that for a Scotch. So in that aspect, yes. But if you're just averagely walking into the store and going to grab one, the barrel proof is the way to go.
Yeah. Around me, they're very hard to find, and my understanding is they go for about $100. But I know, like up on what Ed was saying up in Wisconsin, that he sees them all the time for under $80. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just one of those things where if you can get it and you're not, like for the price around me, $100, no.
Yeah, there's others. When you're getting into the $100 range, you're thinking about spending anywhere from $20 to $60 more to having a phenomenal whiskey or Scotch. I mean, you're getting to the Parliament Funkadelic time and shit like that. Like you're edging in on some pretty happy moments. So I would expect the same thing if you're spending that much in general. And yeah, I'm. It's nice, but I don't think it brings me to that level. It doesn't bring me there. So, let's grab the rye. Let's keep this moving.
Wow! After all those, man, that rye nose
is it? I'm gonna pour it now.
Sweet.
I'm breaking the seal on this one right now. It's got a little flow. Oh, that's darker than I thought. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if they put these in a hotter part of the the warehouse as well too with the rye, since they can probably get them out even quicker then. Whew. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen. Whoo! That
Ben,
was
you're
distinctive.
muted, Ben.
Yep.
That was
I just saw that.
distinctively rye from the other ones. Like, this is a left turn on the nose.
A very, very nice, sweet rye nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm almost getting like a minty toothpaste.
Yeah, I get
mint.
cherry.
I got a big hit of pancake syrup right off the bat with it.
Yeah, I could totally get that.
And that's what I was just saying, we just lost Wilford Brimley, and this puts me in the mind of diabetes territory.
I don't have it. I don't have it. Son of a bitch. I'm in the middle of making that. Because I'm muted. Am I muted? Let's hope not. But yeah, I was in the middle of making the Wilford Brimley diabetes, like the diabetes alarm when we get one, so that will pop up and like float around the screen, and he might even say diabetes, like when he said it to try to scare people. But
wow,
yeah, the black licorice is there though.
But it smells like black licorice. It doesn't
Yeah.
smell like anise. It doesn't smell. It really smells like just black licorice.
Yeah.
man, I like this nose.
Yeah, it's very sweet. It's very candied. There's still some clove and spices. Ben man, you furrowed brow. What the hell happened?
I was just gonna say the mash bill on the rye. It's a 70% rye, and you got 18% corn and 12% barley on this one.
Oh, Pamela. Now I see. Now I see you're Pamela. Damn it, Jack. I don't even know if that really counts.
That's a nice rye.
Yeah.
You can tell on the nose too. It has some nice barrel to it. Nice caramel sugar. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll catch up. Sorry, I'll catch up.
At caramel, I get cherry again. Still get banana, rice spice, but that mouthfeel, it's just real. It's soft. It's not thin. It just feels soft and fluffy.
All of that. Yeah, a little cherry cordial in there for me too.
Yeah.
It's really sweet up front, and then it starts to shift, and you get a little bit of oak and more of the spice and pepperiness start to come in, and just kind of balance out that sweetness just the right way.
Wow, it's like up until the finish, it would be a rye I would give to just about anyone to try to start swinging them onto rye.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the finish, it starts to get more of the rye spice and the black licorice, and stuff starts to filter in more on the finish for me. Now, it's not overpowering, but the flavors start to work up to like a mid-level, where I think if it was one level down, I think you would get almost anyone to drink this like candy. It's like candy water. Oh, Nathan Clark is having a Striker whiskey sour. Well, let's hear what you're doing.
That would be nice.
With lemon or lime juice. I'm gonna go lime just to screw with things, Nathan. I'm going with lime. But look how big like the difference in little flavors like that matter. Like the lemon versus an orange, and when you're doing stuff with gin, so the coriander pops out more.
I know we're not talking about Scotch here, but a Lefroy whiskey sour, oh yeah, so good.
Yeah. Port Charlotte, just about any Isla, but the Lefroy I'm a huge Ardbeg fan, but Lefroy in the whiskey sour,
yeah,
that's just really good. I gotta say, for me, this has been as good as like the barrel proof was. The nose on this one has just been so intriguing.
Yes.
and it's different every time I go in there.
Again, it feels crafty.
Yeah, because you're getting the multiple layers. It's a little light, a little watery, but it's still oily. You get the cream note. It's like a creamy caramel, like you said, a little bit of cherry note kind of in the beginning. And then once you start to swallow, it starts to build up like these rye notes and the heat and a little bit of other stuff, but it doesn't go very hard. What am I missing?
Nothing.
Oh,
I'm 12.
That's fine. That's fine. I was like, I'll hand over the controls of this shit. Someone else can run this. What did I miss? What did someone type?
It's me. The Billy Madison moment.
It's magazine day? What?
Today, Junior.
So this is it's a mid-level rye, but it's a mid to high-level rye for me. If I were going to rank this, it'd be in maybe the low to mid 80s.
Okay.
If you're going on a scale to 100, there's room for more excitement, but this is actually pretty solid for a rye whiskey.
Yeah, it is.
It's a pleasant sipper. I like for my ryes personally to have a little bit more spice and kick to it. I'm kind of in the Ed territory. I'm getting to where I like a younger rye, but this is just solid sipping whiskey, period. If you want to get into a rye, yeah, I could see this being a good jumping off point, honestly.
Yeah, and it's gonna let you know just enough of the anise and the licorice note that kind of creep up into it, and then the kind of candied flavor kind of takes over on them.
Yeah.
I'd be curious what this would do in a cocktail. Just because there's a lot of flavor, but there's not like there's not a proof to fight with anything. There's not a standout flavor to fight with anything, but I think it could be a pretty nice complement.
I think it might. Go ahead. I was going to say I think it might fade away more, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say I have used not the single barrel release, but the standard Jack Daniel's rye. I have used that in making Manhattans before, and it works really well.
Yeah. And that's a really inexpensive rye.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And in that one, to me, you get more of the banana bread, the classic kind of banana bread note people get out of Jack Daniel's. You'll find that it stands out more in that Jack Daniel's rye, the standard release, than it does this particular single barrel that we've got here. But
so, and at this level, how many Jacks are you going to give this rye? Now, it could be in comparison to the rest of them or ryes out in the real world. Because we've had some ryes that are pretty viciously good recently, and this is nice and solid. And if it were coming from a craft distillery, I would lean in it more. I would lean into it more than I am right now, knowing it came from them. Sorry, Jack, but you own fucking half the liquor store. So
yeah. How much is this a bottle?
I think it's in that same
50s.
mid 40s, at least for my area. The single barrel selects are in the mid 40 range.
Most of these were 50-ish by me, so in that ballpark range for here.
That's not bad.
No, and if you got this if we got this from a craft distillery for the show normally, not knowing what it was from, I would be pretty happy for him.
Yeah,
whoever was making that, I'd be pretty happy for you.
And price wise, you're thinking it is a single barrel release and not just a standard. So for that price, that's not bad. I would, if this were me for a rye, just rye against other ryes, I'd probably give it like a 3.5 out of 5. Maybe 3.25. I think for just out of Jack Daniel's here, I'd give it a 3.5. It's better. I like it better than just a single barrel select. I would take the rye over.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Select.
I would agree with you on that. It has more complexity to it by far, and the note. I find the nose much more interesting.
Bang for the buck, absolutely. Wait, it's better.
Yeah.
So, we might actually end the show on the appropriate time of like an hour time frame we're looking at. That's pretty impressive for us. We're usually way the F over.
It's all about the finish.
It's just about finishing it at just the right time, and I think we're
right.
going to be doing that. But Eli Cook, come on! Oh, a Talisker Storm and a sour, that is good. Now I'm going to bring only because you bring up Talisker Storm. I have some coffee in this glass, and I know it has caramel in it. And I know that could have affected everything, but I really don't care. I needed a bump to get going for the show. So, if any of you out there want to try something neat, if you do like caramel frappuccino or caramel latte, mix that with some Talisker Storm and see what you get. That is one of the most lovely morning drinks I have had in an extremely long time, and boy, could I destroy that. Irish coffee be damned. That would put that to shame. That's some lovely stuff.
What if you
Island
mixed
coffee.
all of the Jacks in with the coffee?
Let's start with all the Jacks. Let's start with
There
all
you
the
go.
Jacks first. We got all 4 of these kind of hidden in here.
I've got a little bit of the pinhook thrown in there too.
Oh,
For shits and giggles.
No, I feel like I've been left out. I feel like someone's putting forth some more effort, and it's not on my end here. Whoa.
That's a big nose, man.
Oh yeah, that's just what I'm saying. Like I'm getting like a black licorice top note on it, but then you're getting like layers of fruit, banana bread, a little bit of citrus, a little bit of raisin on this. Man, this is dense.
I get a little bit of a coffee note in there.
Like a bitter coffee, dark chocolate, with a hint of dark chocolate. Holy wow!
Yeah, like if somebody makes you an espresso and it's on kind of the bright citrusy side, that's
intense. I'm gonna give it this
Yeah.
one. This one's got out of all of them together, this combination of them together has the absolute most aggressive nose. Like I'm not gonna say it's heavy on the alcohol, but the shit is coming at you, man. Like it's not holding back. It smells like you're getting into something that's gonna slap you around a bit.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Okay.
I mean, I put them all together, tried all the Jacks, and then I just did all the Jacks with a little splash of the pinhook. And man, is it?
it's just there's so much going on, but it's all like capped and rounded with this just velvety sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the proof is subdued because it's not. You don't get the big alcohol burn or.
And I get like when you're saying velvety, I'm getting like a silky mouthfeel until you swallow.
Oh man.
What? Mm-hmm. This.
Ben finishes
Whoa.
strong.
Wow.
Is the sum greater than the parts?
It's more active.
Yeah.
Is the best way to put that. Like when it's done, and the finish is a much more active finish.
Swish it around a little bit.
Not even counting beforehand. Just the finish is like drying, and the bottom of my tongue is burning a little bit. But then I'm also salivating, and I'm getting barrel notes and chocolate, and I'm like,
I get a little bit more chocolate, but with all of them in there in that pinhook, swishing it around, just that coating that it gives, and then it's just like mint. That mint goes right across there, and it's like, oh, refreshing.
I was exactly what I was going to say. All that chocolate, all that nuttiness, all that wood and oakiness, and then you just get this nice spearmint just blasting across the tongue and the palate, and it's
Okay, so to buy those 4 whiskeys, to buy those 4 Jacks, if you had your hands on those, Jacks, and then you were able to get the pinhook right on, the sum of all of those in equal parts into a whiskey, I think is worth it.
Yeah.
wow, because it shoots it's almost like the minty part, like you're talking about, shoots up the middle of your tongue, and then it splashes down out the sides.
It is. It is like a
Yeah.
splash. It's just like oh, whoosh.
And the minty, like almost alcohol is sticking around. Like I just swallowed now afterwards, and it gave me like that little sharp bite. Like there's still alcohol on your tongue. Like it hasn't evaporated yet. It's still here.
Who swallowed?
This one is actually to some of all the parts it's just more interesting. I could see where you could argue the barrel proof, the single barrel proof was, I think, on its own the most exciting, and I could see that in here.
Yeah.
But this is added. It's just that level of flavors goes up. It just, and it doesn't. The weird thing is, it's not muting them. It's like just pulling them more together and rounding them off. I'm surprised how rounded this is.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I would expect something else to be jumping out a little bit. And the thing that's jumping out the most is probably the rye at the tail end mixed with some of the other stuff.
Yeah, nothing's fighting for attention.
No.
Yeah.
And there's nothing really spiky about it at all. You get the nice pepperiness of the rye at the finish on the end, but so I think for me tonight, the Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof, that's a clear winner. The Heritage Barrel is second, the Rye is third, and the Single Barrel Select brings up the rear. But they're all enjoyable.
Yeah, they are.
And price wise, for most of the people out there, very doable. And like we said, while we were doing more this way, these ones do lean more in, except for maybe the single barrel one, I think lean more towards the craft flavor profile.
Right.
I think the normal single barrel was a little more similar to the overall Jack Daniel's family of things. When you're including Gentleman Jack and some other stuff like that, I think that it kind of hits more in that aspect than it does like going, we're doing something really interesting or there's something flavorful. But damn Jack. Now, Mike, you lost because you blew off the screen a little too early there.
It's all right. I know. I got excited, shot my wad early. But I came back strong.
You did.
Right away. I didn't have to take a nap.
What do you think? Before we get going, Mike, what are your opinions on these four? You're not juicing?
What do I... So, single barrel proof is really hard to beat. I like that whiskey a lot. It's very consistent. I think I was very impressed with that single barrel rye. I think the single barrel rye and the Heritage were very close to me, in as far as ranking. But these, I think the clear winner personally, and I think it's us for having all these in one night because they're good. It's not your stereotypical Jack. I didn't feel like I needed to put on my mullet, hop in the El Camino, do donuts in my neighbor's yard in order to drink it. Listen to some Black Oak, Arkansas, blasting on the radio, Bob Seger T-shirt.
I was thinking
three divorces and anger management classes like all the other Jack drinkers. But no,
I was pondering getting a bandana. I really thought I might have needed one for this episode.
Worn on just above the knee with your jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Black tennis shoes.
Yeah.
I've had too much Jack.
I'm having the coffee with the Jack combination.
Oh.
And
you're smiling.
The word dangerous. This is the other thing. Like I'm gonna load the alligator or the crocodile hunter. We're gonna load Steve Irwin's danger. This motherfucker gets you in trouble. It was right here. This is not okay.
Yeah. Got a lot of Jack in your coffee.
A lot of high proof Jack in the coffee. It is working on me. It's what I like about this is it is giving me. I'm getting a lot of the actual alcohol still shining through what this is.
Yeah.
So in the background, I am getting barrel notes and stuff. So it's like adding to what essentially we'll call it hot chocolate. It's some Highlander grog mixed with some Hershey's Delight creamer thing or whatever. Because I'm not a straight normal coffee person. I'm sorry. I like your fake half Starbucks version of shit. Like I don't have to go there to get it, but I like my creamer, flavored creamer.
You like your diabetes concoction.
Yeah, see, I'm so making the Wilford Brimley alarm for fucking
Yes.
the next time we have this, because that's coming out more frequently. That's the sugar. That is the sugar talking, Emily. It's just I'm drunkenly boozy. Wait, no, I'm speedily drunk. Oh.
And the more I sip this combination, the more the mint and the rye seems to be kicking it up a little bit in there. But it's just, God, it's so good.
It was really good without the pin hook,
Yes.
but that pin hook just really set it off over
Yeah.
the edge. Yeah.
No, John, black coffee is,
Oh yeah.
that's for us psychos, man.
I used to do it, but then I used to get too jacked up. Like there's apparently different levels of black coffee, and like you give me the super hardcore people stuff, and I get like caffeine drunk, like inside of like just get all jacked out of my gourd. I need like a medium level or below. If you give me that super stuff, I'm all over the place. So I don't know, but all in all, we respect the Jack Daniels that we had here tonight.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only
It was a good jack.
it was a good Jack.
Satisfying.
The combination
That's
of all of them may have gotten to the Jack off position. Might have put it into a 5-star Jack off ranking. That would be the one I think was by far and away was the most exciting for me, was the combo of all of them prior to tossing it into the coffee. That killed a little bit of it. Like it was
Tossing
still,
cookies? What?
No.
Toss it off into the coffee.
A little more over here.
Yeah.
Just keep loading it up. But
Just remember, you're a participant, John.
yeah, what?
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification.
We want to thank everyone for stopping in tonight. Remember that once we get done here, stop over to Whiskey Crusaders. They're actually having a pretty cool show on tonight. And I think Mr. Green is going to be on. He authored a book. They're going to be talking to him tonight, so that should actually be a really pretty interesting show. I think it had to do with tasting for beginners, which even if you're not a beginner, sometimes it's good to go back and kind of start again, because everyone has a different style, stance, a little bit different tasting technique, and you can find something from all of them. Now, oh Jesus! And you know what I forgot, and you guys forgot. We're supposed to remind you.
We ran out of time.
We did, and it's just straight up our honest apologies to Nancy again tonight. We keep
She wanted to
leaving
be
you.
here for the jack off.
She did. She was in the green room. We were supposed to bring her on, and now here we're run over an hour, and we just can't fit her in. So, remember, to everyone out there, just, give Nancy a break. It's not her fault. It's our fault for not getting her on. She's in the green room. She's showing up every Monday night, just waiting for that chance to get on, and we haven't had a good time to do it. But we're hoping like hell we can get her on here at the end of one of these upcoming shows. So, and just, we feel like we should pay homage to people we should, So we're sorry, Nancy. Sorry. We'll work on it. We're going to try to get you on. We hope you don't
playing pocket pool. What do you expect?
We hope you don't hold any ill will or grudges towards us when we finally do get you on the channel. That's true, John. That's true. But from everyone here, I think that it's to the time of the night where we can say that it's not the size of the den that matters. You know, it's the love of whiskey. So cheers, everyone. Thanks for stopping in. Stop in next week. We got some other big shows. We'll have an announcement about those coming up. But have a drink this evening and share it with some friends. We'll see you later. Oh, hey, you two-fisted slobber. What are you doing down there? Just keep your cool. What the hell?
Get into it. 1, 2, 3.